Silksong just came out and it completely destroyed the AAA gaming industry in a single day. Not even a single day. Honestly, roughly in 3 hours. In 3 hours, it completely eclipsed every other AAA game that came out this year, and honestly, also the last year. This should be a wake up call.
Over the past few years, we have seen games with absolutely insane budgets release and only find failure. Concord, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, Dragon Age, The Veilguard are all titles that epically failed, even though they had, in some cases, 10 years and hundreds of millions of dollars put into them. But there are indies out there.
Most of those games, I think Concord is the least expensive from them, and for Sony to get Concord, it was 400 million. 200 to buy the company, 200 to finish the game. That's definitely an investment that went very poorly. And everything other than that, Star Wars Outlaws, 600 million lost to nothing. It's probably even more. Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed Shadows, I'm still expecting it at the end of the day after like 2 years to get news that it was actually 800 million to make and plus marketing costs and everything else. There's so many examples. Dragon Age Veilguard most likely was 500 million or 400 again, minimum. 400 is kind of the minimum nowadays for a triple A slop. So it's bad. It is really bad, in fact.
That are thriving and doing fantastic. And Silksong is a game that so many of us had so much hype for. And on release day, it is doing such crazy numbers. It is breaking Steam, Xbox, and the eShop because so many people are trying to play it at once. I have a few different things to show off.
By the way, that's not an overstatement. That literally happened. Silksong broke all the platform shops because there was no pre-orders for this. People just, oh, it dropped. Well, gotta go buy it, and every shop got broken.
But before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider
Just like the video, okay? This video right now. Like it, or bad things are gonna happen to the Vokies.
supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I have been super hyped for Silksong like so many other gamers out there, and when it comes to indie games, right, they are the future of the industry. We are sick and tired of a lot of the games that the AAA companies are putting out because they are unimaginative, they are uninspiring, and they love to reboot, remake, and rehash the same old games.
To be absolutely fair, I disagree with this take. I think Dragon Age Railguard was very imaginative. I personally could never fucking dream atrocities like that. So, these games are pretty wild and out there, honestly, when it comes to their creativity, but not in a good way, though.
And the same old stories, which sometimes can be okay when you've got a lot
Assassin's Creed Shadows, I would have never honestly thought that I'm gonna make the main protagonist of the game black, and then furthermore bump it up to 11 by making it a George Floyd reference. I don't know, maybe my imagination is lacking. I don't know. What do you think?
of love and nostalgia for something, and you're happy to see gameplay slightly updated and maybe new graphics and new music, but the majority of people want new experiences, and we have to look to indies for those. And there are some studios that have blown up over the years because their titles went viral and got so much support, and one of those was Hollow Knight. It was a game that came out that so many people
Was Hollow Knight originally that popular? I mean, Hollow Knight did very well, but to be honest, this release is so much more massive than Hollow Knight, I think. Did Hollow Knight actually strike that many players when it came out? I mean, most people heard about Hollow Knight, but did people buy it? Oh, also, by the way, Silksong is just $20. Yes. So that alone makes people probably buy it. The fact that something costs $20 in the modern day and age is insane.
loved. And the developers were originally supposed to make Silksong into a DLC, but then they shifted their plan and they made it into a full game, and we had been waiting forever. But just 2 weeks ago, they basically said it was going to be a shadow drop, like, oh, here's your 2 week warning, it's going to release. And now that it has launched, it is doing insane and so good that it is taking all of these storefronts offline. So it says in the minutes leading leading up to the global release of Hollow Knight Silksong, more than 240,000 viewers were waiting in the chats of thousands of Twitch channels about to stream the game. Unfortunately, the sheer amount of people hitting download all at the same time took down Steam, leading many to wait and watch others start playing this highly anticipated game. It says Hollow Knight Silksong reached epic proportions on streaming platforms before it had even released by Team Cherry. On Twitch, scores of viewers were sitting and eagerly awaiting the game's launch, joining their favorite content creators in the countdown. As they write this, more than 310,000 people are watching Silksong, and more than 47,000.
By the way, I love that they are calling this a streaming platforms. You know, just to blur the lines between crap like Netflix and Twitch and other things. I just love how they're slowly trying to do it. That's a psyop, by the way, if you did not know. 10 out of 10.
People have managed to get into Steam, and now the picture is very different because as of making this video, there are 517,000 players in game, which is crazy, and this game has only been up for about 3 hours at this point.
I can already imagine IGN saying this is shit. If the gamer likes something, you know the news networks, garbage dumpster fires, are gonna call this bad. I wonder, can we get an IGN Silksong report? Let me actually Google that. IGN Silksong review? Hollow Knight Silksong review in progress. Okay. Score 9.5. Oh no, but that's just a Hollow Knight one. Oh, they're using this opportunity to shill their old article about Hollow Knight. Okay, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I would not be surprised if IGN said it's bad. Oh boy. Yeah, would not be surprised if the legacy game media absolutely hated it. By the way, these numbers are really good if you didn't notice. And people were saying, "Oh, how can you know that Avowed is gonna collapse? But it's not even released. It's just the pre-orders that people are playing, and it has 2K people online." Yeah. How did I know? How did I know that this is gonna be successful? Jeez, really.
So this is going to hit 1 million players over the weekend, probably even more. Never mind the fact that it did release on other platforms, and these are just the Steam numbers. It also says that there are reports of the Nintendo eShop.
Oh, actually, let's check Xbox Live. Live played games? Oh, god damn it, Google, I hate you. Xbox Live player count. Okay. God damn it, I hate Google so much. They're all of their AI shit. Ah, I can't. Wait, why do I not find the thing? Usually you would find the Xbox. I want to see if Silksong is at the top of Xbox also. Xbox Live game play account, maybe like that. It's just a bunch of fucking Reddits. What the hell is Xbox at a Microsoft okay, there we go. Xbox games. Let's see what we have here. Coming soon, game previews, most played. Let's click on the most played and see what we get. Oops. Dude, the website is laggy. What the hell is that? Okay, so we got Fortnite, Roblox, Call of Duty, that Microsoft, blah blah blah. I'm not seeing any Apex Legends, Overwatch 2. Edge. I'm not seeing Grounded. We even see Grounded here. Is this just not registering Silksong? I'm not seeing it. Interest. Hollow Knight Void Heart Edition. Is this just not saying? Well, let's see. Let's check coming soon. No, not even here. Well, there's something definitely wrong with Microsoft's own website. Well, you would expect Microsoft to be garbage, but it is what it is. So, We don't actually know how many people are playing it on consoles or anything else. I assume not that many, but you know, a game like that is controller friendly, so there could be a lot of people playing it on controller. To be completely fair, this definitely seems like one of those situations where it could actually have a decent amount of players on consoles.
And the Xbox store suffering, which they're working to verify. And I did see several reports on social media that said, yeah, people were having like major issues actually getting into these storefronts. And when they tried to purchase the game, it would like kick them out and say, error, try again later, which is crazy. I love seeing independent developers thriving. And really, this year has been the year of indies and the year of giving AAA companies the finger because while, yes, we have seen some
True.
AAA games do pretty good, there are a lot that have failed and a lot of these titles that have succeeded. Look at something like Expedition 33. Part of that team was ex Ubisoft developers, and they, from what we understand, were so upset with the direction of that company and how their projects weren't getting greenlit that they went and made their own studio and they made E33, which in my opinion is a
True.
game of the decade contender. It is a phenomenal experience, and I think that and Silksong are probably going to be the two top contenders for game of the year in 2025. I don't know if Silksong will still surpass that because E30.
Wait, what was the other game that came out? There was one more that kind of almost rivals Expedition 33. I forgot its name. Oh, someone's gonna have to remind me. I can't. It's dropping out of my mind because I didn't play it. But there is one more game that people are talking really that people were talking really good about, except Expedition 33.
Was so phenomenal for me, but we've also seen other indie games do really fantastic. Like we have Repo. The all-time peak for that 6 months ago was 271,000. Schedule
Never
One's
heard of
all-time
that.
peak 5 months ago was 459,000. And when you look at a
And by the way, this is a very respectable amount of players still playing. If these were Starfield's numbers, Bethesda would be shitting gold bricks.
lot of the AAA games that have released over the past year or two, it's a very different picture. We had Dragon Age the Veilguard, which had
Ugh.
only released about 11 months ago. It came out at the very end of October.
Oh, but it's a success. Did it sell any copies? Well, no. By the way, Veilguard, Assassin's Creed Shadows, we still don't have confirmations that they have sold even 1.5 million copies each. Not even that. Not even that. And I do not trust any of the Ubisoft numbers because Ubisoft is a failing company and they're gonna lie. So yeah, this is horrible. They took a IP that had millions of players and turned it into, well, the superest of focused of slops.
2024, but the all-time peak was 89,418 for an EA in a BioWare game for a franchise that so many people have loved in the past. These numbers are terrible. We have Assassin's Creed Shadows, which was supposed to be a behemoth launch for Ubisoft, peaking at
Well, to be fair, people are there's some people who claim to understand finance and numbers. They're lying. They're idiots. Because if you believe those people, then Assassin's Creed Shadows is the greatest selling and greatest potential Ubisoft game of all time. This thing is completely destroying Valhalla and Odyssey put together. Okay, this thing. If you trust what those people are saying, this thing is on its way to sell like 30 million copies by the end of this year. This game hasn't even sold 2 million copies. But it's supposed to sell 30 million copies. Holy shit.
64,000.
It literally gave away free copies 3 hours into the release. That's how bad this was.
1,825, and these are still okay numbers, right? It's not like they've only got 1,000 people who ended up playing it at the all-time peak, even though that's what's in game right now. But you would expect more for Ubisoft's and EA's and the companies that have dominated the industry. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice
Based.
League was one of the biggest disappointments, in my opinion, in the gaming industry at
I completely forgot about this, but yeah, it looked terrible.
13,459. And then you get into something like Concord, which only had a couple thousand people, and that shut down after just 2 weeks of being on the market. And that cost Sony over $500 million,
Oh, yeah. There was someone who said it was 500 million.
according to reports. So we are talking about these large companies getting absolutely wrecked by indies, and you love to see it because these indie developers are passionate, they are talented, and they are willing to take their
Now, they're just not woke, okay? All of these games are fundamentally woke shit, okay? Assassin's Creed Shadows. I mean, it's literally George Floyd the game. It's hilariously stupid. A Veil God. You're establishing your trans identity of all things unholy. All of these games, they're just woke. They're not talentless even, okay? They're not even talentless, they're not any of these. They're just super goddamn woke. These are not games, these are ideological grifts. That's what they are. End of story. There's nothing more, nothing less to honestly say about this trash. It's just the way it is. Like, they don't lack creativity, they don't lack resource, they don't lack talent. They lack people who actually are normal individuals making. That's what they lack.
time on the game that they are most excited for. The AAAs have, in some cases, thousands of people who work on a project, which you'd think would be good, but then everybody bickers, everybody's got different ideas, and it just doesn't go the way that they anticipated. And, the project ends up getting messed up and it's a clusterfuck. And that's not the case with this. Sure, Silksong was a game we didn't have a release date for a very long time, and a lot of people were kind of disappointed it had taken so long. But look at the game that we're getting for $20. You're getting a 30 plus hour experience. They could have charged $70 for this, and I genuinely don't think that the game would have sold any less copies. The people who were excited.
I think it would have sold a lot less copies. We're already making fun of things like Avowed, the Outer Worlds 2, and other games like that, putting on a price tag of, well, above $30, honestly, at this point. We're already making fun of this. If Silksong was $70, the world would spread and it would sell. It would sell still a lot of copies, but it would not be even close to 500. The price being 20, I literally yesterday saw people on Twitter talk about, wait, this thing's $20? Why would I not buy it? Everyone's talking good, and the accessibility point of the price is so ridiculously good. Yeah, people are gonna buy it just because it's this cheap, okay? I wonder if we're gonna get to the point where some games are gonna lower their prices because, again, just a cheap price and a promise, even not a reality, but just the promise of a good game is already good enough to make people squirm.
Still would have purchased it at a $70 price tag, but they didn't do that. Hollow Knight 1 was only $15, I believe. And so Silksong coming out at only $20 is just another slap in the face to the mainstream industry. And they're still making bank given how many people are actually playing this. And this is only in the first few hours of releases 527,000, never mind over the weekend or over the next couple of weeks. So
Oh yeah, the weekend is gonna be the bigger one. The weekend is gonna obviously be the bigger one.
I absolutely love to see it. This game is doing so good right now, and so many gamers are so excited for them, which is awesome. It crashed all these storefronts. This is ridiculous. It's insane.
True. Anyway, that was very dark. 10 out of 10. Bye.